the story.
I drove right by right after I was driving. I went to my daughter party at the big thing in Boston,
Yeah.
Masters
Yeah.
up in McIntyre, at the Gordon's house. So I was picking them up. And we're coming home, and I'm like, oh, these are in front of it was in front of the Winter's house.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a pistol there. Two of the other two people in the car.
Yeah, from the same
You could see the mark.
From the same
It was driving on the rim.
Mike,
We drove all the way in on the rim. And that's how they followed
the county.
down Elm Street, and then he cut off, he cut through Elm Street, then took away. So we're driving, this is down the hill, it's two police cars. All
Was he
the lights-
hurt?
Yeah, not bad. In front of his house, all the lights, and so everybody, his sister said, what's going on? I'm trying to get out of the car. So I said, well, we'll wait. Like, so we waited.
I had a shorter version.
Hi, Karen.
These are the,
Hi,
you
Sharon. How are
wanna
you?
read through one, this one is.
Oh.
Ready to get started?
I love it. I heard that.
Is he ready?
All ready?
That was the
Hey, Sean.
Hi, John Delaney. Hi. All
Who
set?
asked you? No, I'm like. That was before the TV came on.
Ooh, it was.
Be nice to the select.
I like you. Sean, I like you. Sean, I'm unopposed. No.
There's still a blank column, isn't
That's
there?
true.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. The first item on the agenda at all of our meetings is public input, so is there anybody seeking input? Seeing none, we'll move along to the item on the agenda tonight is the superintendent search. We have Mike Gilbert here from MASC. We turn it over to Mike.
Okay, and I'm going to actually turn it over first to Cliff as chair of the search committee.
And we, in accordance with the charge to the Search Advisory Committee, made at your March 8th, 2010 meeting, we have reviewed the application materials provided by the candidates and have interviewed 9 applicants. One of the initial 10 applicants withdrew to accept another position in another district. The Search Advisory Committee is pleased to present the following 3 candidates in alphabetical order for further consideration as superintendent. Ms. Pamela Bodwin, Curriculum Director, North Reading Schools. Dr. Susan Nicholson, Assistant Superintendent, Andover Public Schools. And Ms. Kathleen Willis, Assistant Superintendent, Triton Regional School District. I believe that this satisfies the charge given to the committee. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the other members of the committee for their time and effort in this important endeavor.
Great, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you. You also have in front of you in your packet a final interview schedule. The final interviews will take place at 7 p.m. On the evenings of April 13th, 14th, and 15th. Ms. Willis will be interviewed on the 13th, Ms. Bodwin on the 14th, and Dr. Nicholson on the 15th. And they will spend the day here in the district. On each of those days, there will be an opportunity for a community reception for each candidate in the evenings from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Prior to the interview. That will give the candidates some time to catch their breath from their long day in North Reading, and then conduct the interviews.
Where's that going to take place? Is that
The final interviews will be in the high school library.
And so the public session before the interviews will also be there in the library? or-
Yes.
Okay,
Yep. And the interviews will be in public.
right.
So, you have, also, I have included the resumes in your packet of each of the candidates. Those are public information, and I've given those to the press that's here tonight. The school committee will make site visits to Andover on this Monday, April 5th, to Triton Regional on Tuesday, April 6th, and here to North Reading on Wednesday, April 7th. There are directions and a schedule from both Andover and Triton, from both Kathleen Willis and Susan Nicholson in your packets as well. And I will get you Pam's schedule probably before Monday. Because she was here in the district and because the names were confidential until today, we waited until today Pam waited until today to start contacting people to let them know that, so you'll have the schedule from her as soon as I get it. We would also, I would also like to meet with the school committee on the 12th at 7 o'clock. Since you will have done your site visits, and since not everybody is going to the site visits, the committee would come together on the 12th. We can talk about the results of your site visits that evening, and then go over any questions you may have about questions that you're going to ask candidates on the 13th, 14th, and 15th. So that should be a short meeting. And I would guess that would be here.
We have a regular meeting that night anyway, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can do it as part of your regular meeting.
Yeah, right, as soon as we have the first.
Okay, I will tell you that all three candidates are very excited about moving forward. And they know each other, and so it should be an interesting process for them as well as it will be for you.
You said, Mike,
Yep.
that Kathleen Willis,
Mhm.
no, I'm sorry, Dr. Nicholson was going to have some North Andover folks?
She will
At
have
the
some North
Andover.
Andover folks in the process, because she did some work on the building project and she knew that that was important to you. So she will have some North Andover folks there to talk about the building project.
Oh, NAHS.
Yep.
Andover High School, okay.
Yep.
That's there in the afternoon. Okay, that's great. Is there anything else?
Nope.
Okay, any words of wisdom? Do we inquire about applicants? Do we talk about them? Do
You
we
can,
solicit
you can,
input?
absolutely, you will have their full packets there. There's reference information there. Feel free to pick up the phone and call.
Okay.
I've done initial background checks on all of them, and they all have come through without any problems. So, feel free to do your own work. At this point, their names are out there in the public. So,
I just have a couple of questions. I think we have 2 or 3 people going to the site visits. Is it normally not recommended that the whole school committee goes, or if everybody was available, the whole committee?
if everybody was available, the whole committee could go.
Okay.
Site visits, whether they're for inspection or this type of thing, need to be posted if a quorum of the committee were going, but they're not open meetings, so to speak, so.
And the other thing you mentioned, you said that you want to meet with us on the 12th to review our site visits.
Mhm.
And I know that's a public meeting, but
Yes, it is.
how much,
Well-
when we review, how much do we review? I guess that's the question.
Here's what I would say. I always tell school committee members, you have to do this in public. It's
Right.
about their professional competence. And I always tell you to use my mother's rule. If you can't say something nice about somebody, don't say anything at all. So I think,
Okay.
these people are all experienced administrators. They all have things that they've done throughout their careers that have not necessarily always been liked by everybody. If every decision every administrator ever made was considered positively by everybody, I don't think we'd have a lot of administrators.
Right.
So.
And is the hope that we can make a decision on the 15th after that last interview?
That, I would hope you would do that. I think you will have sufficient information from your interviews and from the site visits to be able to do that. And the other thing I generally tell school committees about that is all waiting will do is make your phone ring. And you've got more information than most people in the community will have.
And how is the vote taken? I mean, is it just a matter of somebody entering a motion?
Yeah, generally
Or do we
it is.
vote?
You know, we'll take a break after the last interview, we come back to the table and have some discussion about the three candidates. And then hopefully, you know, you'll reach some consensus through that discussion, and somebody will make a motion, and we'll go from there. You know, if you feel the need, there is a ballot process available where, you know, you would write down a name and write down your name, and then the chair could call out, you know, how many votes for each candidate. But generally with small committees, I don't have a problem with them trying to reach consensus without having to do that.
I think we do well with that, so,
You should do, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh, I just have one, out of curiosity, the one candidate that withdrew, what position did they take?
Well, if I told you that, I'd have to reveal that he applied here, and I can't do that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's a he.
That's true. You're quick, that's a good catch, good.
Okay.
Well, I want to thank the committee. I know it was an arduous task, because I was on the selection committee for the town administrator, and I know that we did interviews 3 or 4 nights straight, and after the first or second night, you kind of get a little blurry-eyed, and because you have to listen really hard. It's not just a matter of sitting there and asking questions, you really have to listen, because you want to make sure you make the right decisions. So I want to thank everybody who participated on the committee.
There was some particular issues with it, and on the last night, the time we were gonna make the decision, we had the grammar folks competing.
Oh, right, that was Thursday.
And people on the committee who would have much preferred to be in Maine for that, because their children or their involvement.
Right.
So, there was something lost in the process. They stuck with us.
Yeah, you have some very committed individuals who worked very hard. It was a great committee to work with, and I think they made a very good decision, in bringing you 3 solid candidates.
And the town administrator participated. All right, Mike, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So I'll see you on the 12th.
Okay.
Yes. Cliff, do you want to talk about the draft?
Actually, I wanted to ask you a question. Do we have assignments, or, I mean, I know that a couple people are definitely going to some of the site visits. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if, you know, because he said if we have a quorum, we have to post it.
Right.
So I prefer not to do that. What do you think?
I don't mind posting, actually, they want the more people to go, the better.
Okay.
One of the candidates was disappointed that there weren't more coming.
So what, okay, because I don't know who's assigned, who's
Well-
officially going, but,
Cliff,
I'm going
you,
to everything.
Cliff's
Yeah.
going to all 3 of
Okay.
them. This is the site visits on the 5th, 6th, and 7th.
yeah,
You and I are going Monday and Tuesday, the
Okay.
4th and 5th.
okay.
Jerry and Cliff are going on the 7th.
Oh, wait, so we're going the 5th and 6th,
Yep, Monday and Tuesday.
and 5th and 6th, and Jerry and Cliff are going on that, okay.
So 3
So
days.
3 on the 5th and 6th, and
Yep.
2 on the, okay.
Yep.
I unfortunately cannot go.
She can't, the work, but she'll be there when we do the
Yes, I will.
North Reading
Okay,
afternoon and evening.
great.
I think on this, all I'm looking for is any feedback you have.
It looks good.
Okay, looks very good. You know, the school budget will be postponed to June town meeting, but it's the school committee's intent on Monday night at April town meeting, when you can do a department report, to give a state of the school department, not a budget-related speech, I was gonna say presentation. So Cliff has done this PowerPoint, and if you have any questions, he's got time to tweak it, but he'd like to present that on our behalf Monday night. Does that look good?
Yeah, I mean, if I have anything, I'll just,
Yeah.
I'll get to you, but it looks good.
Talks about the state of education, where we are.
Any tweaking you want to have, it's fine.
Okay.
All right? And the only other issue for this evening is to address the issue on our signage and advertising policies, and see if the committee wants to send it off to the policy subcommittee for review. You know how we work with subcommittees. The policy subcommittee operates in two ways. One, they're always doing a review of existing policies, and the other aspect is to take requests.